This is my mom and my dad. This is Annice Clemens Tansel, and this is Willie Waring Tansel. We lived in Martin, Tennessee, and I really do feel that I am the only one that looks like both of them. But we lived in Martin, Tennessee at 511 Railroad Street. That's where I lived until 17. While I was there, I always worked. I had to work in order to have some of the things that I would need in school and some of the things I desired to have. So at an early age, it's one thing I learned, that if you want to have something, you had to work hard. If you don't work, you don't have. And that was the value that I carried on with my daughter. If you want to have something, you work for it. On May of 1958, I graduated from Weakley County High School. That was our school. I was 17 years old, and I had been thinking about what was I going to do when I finished school. I stated, I know I'm not going to stay here because there's nothing here for me. So I didn't have any money to go to a university or college. So I decided, well, I will join the military. And maybe when I finish my term in the military, I will have some resources to go to college. But on May the 5th, I believe, of 1958, when they were giving out the scholarships, they called my name and I couldn't believe it. I received a scholarship from none other than the great Rotary Club International. And what that did, it gave me the push I needed. I knew then I was going to, I could make it. There was a little teacher that came to our school, Weakley County Training School. Her name was Norma Irvin. She was the home economics teacher, but she was so feisty and engaging. That is, she would talk with us. She would just inspire us to no end. And I wanted to be like her. She had a pair of shoes that I admired, and they were pure leather. And they were the prettiest shoes that I'd ever seen. And when I told her, oh, they are really pretty. So she said, we'll just see about it. We'll wait, and just like this. She said, we'll see about it. We'll wait till you go to college and we'll see. So when I got ready to go to college, she had those shoes in a box, and she gave them to me. Everybody in the community, when I went away to the university, they had something to give me. I didn't have a coat. My cousin gave me a coat. I didn't have the collegiate dictionaries. Mrs. Hayes gave me that. My brother saw to it that I had a typewriter. And every one of those people, I repaid them before they died. And that just meant something to me, that when somebody gives you something, you should let them know before you leave this world that you appreciate it and reciprocate in kind. So every one of them received something from me as a result of me getting the coat, the typewriter, the collegiate dictionary, and the shoes. But the main thing was the Rotary Club International. It's not about the scholarship, but it's the inspiration and the incentive that did to me, and I will never forget them as long as I live. I will call their name to the highest of all. You don't have to give me the world, but just give me enough to make it, and I'll find a way to do it on my own, to finish it, to complete it. But to get that push, I will never forget them. I will never forget them. And as a result, I told them, oh, Lord, if ever I am able, I will do and can. And for 30 years, I have given a child a scholarship to go to school. I hope that I was an inspiration to young people, for that they saw that I really cared. I gave them the push that they needed because someone had done me that way. Seeing the student be successful and come back and tell me what they were doing, and it just means the world to me.
I will say that one of the greatest influences on my life was Miss Dobbins when I was at Whitthorne in the 7th grade. My personal life, my mother had been diagnosed with cancer, and I was dealing with a lot as a young student. And I was walking the hall that particular day, and I guess she could just tell on my face that I was just frustrated. A lot was going on. And she said, "Baby, what's wrong?" And she pulled me over, and I showed her my report card, and I said I missed it. And what she didn't realize that I knew I had missed the honor roll by 1 point. It really bothered me because I knew being on the honor roll made my mother proud. And Miss Dobbins said, "Come in the office and have a seat," because she was recording an announcement over the PA system. And for anybody that was at Whitthorne, nobody could do an announcement on the PA system like Miss Dobbins. So there I was sitting in the office, waiting on Miss Dobbins to get finished with the announcements. Other kids, the windows that are right there in the office, they were looking at me like, "Hey, he's gotten in trouble." And I really didn't know what was going to happen. So after she finished with the announcement, she said, "Okay, come with me." And so Miss Dobbins walked me back down the hall, up the steps, to the classroom where the teacher was, where I had missed the honor roll by 1 point. And so she called the teacher out. She said, "I really feel like he could earn that extra point. Find a way, make him do the work, whatever you got to do, but make sure he gets that extra point." And I never forgot that. That meant a lot. And I think having that type of concern and compassion, even for me as a student, you don't know what people might be going through, what children are going through, but having someone like Miss Dobbins take the time to speak into my life at that moment, that was very critical to me, meant a whole lot. And so I'll never forget that, and I cherish that even to this day.
I had the great honor of working with Barbara Dobbins at Whitthorne Middle School. I met Barbara that very first day. She came in my classroom. She says, "Now, I'm Barbara Dobbins. I'm Mrs. Dobbins, and I am the assistant principal, and you will report to me on anything." And I'm thinking, okay. But she said it with such love and smile and admiration that I just adored her from the very beginning. Her whole life has been about peace and harmony, people first. And there's a way to solve all problems through harmony and listening to all sides. And she did that with adults, with colleagues, with friends, and with kids. She saw the children first as people, as just individual human beings that needed a chance. Hers has been a way of impacting you, and you may not think of it at the time. But later down the road, it's like, Miss Dobbins taught me that. I know her impact is long and wild and outstanding. I don't know of anybody else that could have a better legacy than Barbara Dobbins, and I'm so appreciative that this is a living legacy.
I know Miss Dobbins. I have known her all of my life. Mrs. Dobbins has always been a trailblazer. She's always been the pioneer that not only talked about what young people need to do to strive and make a difference, she showed us. I am one of the Barbara Dobbins gems. I'm so blessed to be a recipient of the Barbara Dobbins gem. When I left Whitthorne, I became one of the vice principals at Central High School and later the principal. I thank God for the opportunity, but you don't forget the bridges that brought you across. I thank Miss Dobbins for what she instilled in me. I would not be the woman that I am today had not only I wanted what she had, I still want that. But I thank God that she shared that with me. And it allowed me to share it with others. Let's continue to plant good seeds in all of our children and all of our community leaders. And everybody that we see each day, let's plant a positive seed. God bless you.
Barbara is my aunt. Barbara Dobbins is my aunt. She came into our family when I was 8 years old. She married my Uncle Maurice, and I was always my Uncle Maurice's favorite. And everywhere he went, my little head was always up in there. And then one day he brought this lady home named Barbara Tanzel. And all of a sudden, didn't get all the time that I used to with my Uncle Maurice, and I didn't understand that at 8 years old. So I decided I wasn't going to like her. She was so friendly, and she detected how close Uncle Maurice and I was. So she took time with me to teach me things. And she would teach me how to put on makeup, and she would do my nails. And I was so used to traveling with my Uncle Maurice when they wanted to be by themselves, but she would say, "Come on, you can go with us." So she slowly pulled me into her. And it's really strange at 8 years old, the person you hate the most is the person when you're older you love the most. All of the characteristics and all of the creative skills that I have today, I have to give that to her. Because she took time, and she's always, since I was 8 years old, taken the time with me.
If I had to describe Miss Dobbins, empathetic, sympathetic, kind, would go the extra mile.
Compassionate, loving, bold, a go-getter, just remarkable.
She's jovial. She has lots of humor. She loves to laugh, and she has a big, bold laugh. She's kind. She is very giving. Whether she knows you or not, she's very accepting of people. The reason so many people in this city have accomplished what they have and are living in the conditions that they are is because of her goodness and her kindness.
I just love her. You can't help but love Barbara Dobbins. Today, tomorrow, yesterday, forever.
Faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. I believe that will sum it up. If we can just love somebody, or else feel love, the greatest of these is love.